Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Dip Yanko.
And we give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Willie Wilson. In tonight's Game Plan, we're taking a closer look at the PBA Commissioner's Cup Finals between the Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings and the Bay Area Dragons ahead of their crucial Game 2 matchup.
We'll also take a look at the players who are over and underperforming in the ongoing season of the NBA. And we'll check out the Brooklyn Nets' hot streak as they win their 9th straight game today. We are 1 day away from Game 2 of the PBA Commissioner's Cup Finals, and as we await the next chapter of the Ginebra Bay Area Showdown, my partner, Coach Willie Wilson, will break down items from today's Willie Wishlist. It's Christmas season, Coach Willie, and as always, we always have wishes. But this time around, for the finals of the PBA Commissioner's Cup, you have a list that you prepared for us. So, unahin natin first, you want a continued mental focus by Barangay Ginebra. Can you expound more on that?
Well, first and foremost, I want to say happy holidays to everybody, all our viewers. And when I say continued focus, I'm talking about, again, this is the holiday season. Lots of dinners, lots of gatherings, parties, but there's a job to be done for these Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings as well as the Bay Area Dragons. But first and foremost, they need to focus on the job at hand. Lock in, keep their focus on the task. They were able to do that in Game 1. Continue to do that coming into Game 2, and I think we're going to see a similar result in Game 2.
Well, it was obvious that Ginebra was in the zone in Game number 1. They were full focus against Bay Area, but let's go now to the other side. For the Dragons, they sort of had a hard time adapting to the physicality of Ginebra. We saw that some players were getting frustrated with how Ginebra players were defending them. How can they adjust to the physicality of Ginebra?
Well, we know that this is one of the most physical leagues in Asia, and actually maybe in the whole entire in the entire basketball world. So as you see, they got dominated in the points in the paint. They got dominated in the rebounds.
Right.
They got dominated with the second chance points. What they need to do is just forget the style of basketball that they've been playing and just match the physicality. They need to hit first. Kind of what Ateneo did in Game 2 versus UP.
Yeah.
They changed their style of play and decided, we're going to be the aggressor. We're going to hit first, not in a dirty way, but in the basketball sense, and just let their physicality lead their game.
Right, I saw a statement from some of the Bay Area players. Even Andrew Nicholson said that Christian Sandhardinger defended him so well, and they're going to try to implement the same style of defense heading into Game number 2. So we look forward to their adjustment in terms of physicality. Okay, third one on your wish list, a better showing by Ginebra's second unit. We saw the starters did so well in that game, but for the bench, it was sort of non-existent, right?
Well, if you look at the minutes played with regards to the Ginebra team, you had their starting five, which is L.A. Tenorio, Scotty Thompson, Malonzo, Brownlee playing the 4, and Christian at the 5, playing all above 35 minutes. Can they sustain that for a 7-game series, or even if for 4 games? Can they sustain that? I don't know. LA is 38 years old. So if their bench is not stepping up in their production, as you see, we got Jeremiah Gray with only 2 points. He was a -10 in the plus-minus. Stanley Pringle, who is usually very, very consistent, only 5 points. And then the big one was Japith. Japith needs to produce more. Obviously, he was there. He was there defensively, being a secondary rim protector. But he's going to have to spell his teammates, especially Brownlee, because the focus for Bay Area is going to be on Brownlee coming into Game 2.
Right. Who do you see as the possible 6th man for them heading into Game number 2 that needs to really step up? Because as you said, it may not be sustainable, L.A. Tenorio. We know that he can score a lot, but for him to score 20 points in all games, it's a lot of asking for L.A. Tenorio. So who do you think can step up big in Game number 2, particularly?
Well, I'd have to go with Stanley Pringle. He has the most experience with regards to playing in the finals. Jeremiah Gray, he's still new to this team. He's still new to this type of game that Ginebra is playing in. So it has to be Stanley Pringle for me. He needs to step up, lace him up tight, and go in and give quality minutes.
And also for the starters, I think one of the players who started that really didn't do a lot of scoring was Jamie Malonzo, right? How do you see him moving forward in the series as well?
Well, Jamie Malonzo, for me, he's not really all about scoring. His impact comes on the pressure that he puts on the defense in the transition game.
Yeah.
Defensively, he's a monster out there because he can guard positions 1 through 5, in my opinion.
Right.
Definitely 1 through 4. So the pressure that he's putting defensively, blocking shots on the weak side, playing the passing lanes, and then getting out in transition, offensive rebounding is a really, really big thing that he does really, really well.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not just scoring because you have guys that can put the ball in the basket on that Ginebra team.
Right, okay. How about another wish list for the Bay Area Dragons? The question is, who will support Andrew Nicholson? Because on Christmas Day, he didn't get any gifts from his teammates, so it's sort of limited for him.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at, for me, the biggest name there is Blankley.
Yeah.
Blankley is their second best player, their second leading scorer. He needs to step up. He was 0 for 9 from the 3.
Yeah.
That will not cut it for somebody like Blankley. And then I think he only had 2 other guys in double digits, but guys like Kobe Lamb need to step up. Apparently, he was dealing with food poisoning.
Right.
So he needs to step up. And then they're bench guys. They got Big Liu needs to step up, and they just need to help him in any way possible because you know that Ginebra's defense is going to be all focused on him.
Right, and I just wanted to ask you also, I talked to some analysts covering the game as well. Do you think that really Andrew Nicholson is the right matchup for Ginebra as the import? Because we saw how Miles Powell performed. I don't think he's ever played with Ginebra because in the elimination round, it was Nicholson who played against Ginebra. Do we know if Andrew Nicholson is the right man for them here in the series?
Well, you know what? I don't have an answer to that. I don't know if he's the right man, but he is the man now, so he is going to have to be the right man for this Bay Area Dragon team because they have no other choice.
Yeah, that's right. And finally, a bonus wish list item, not just for Game 2, but for the entire series. What is your wish for Ginebra and Bay Area?
Well, this wish is not only for me, but for you guys, for the fans. I'm wishing for a Game 7. I'm wishing for this series to go to Game 7 because we want more basketball.
Oh, you want more basketball, and Coach Willie's just generous that way, wishing for everyone to have fun in the PBA. So thank you for your insights and your wish list. We'll see if matutupad lahat yan in game number 2 for Ginebra and Bay Area. And after the break, we'll find out who needs to step up and who's performing well in the ongoing season of the NBA. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back to the game. Christmas Day may have passed, but the NBA's naughty or nice list lives on as the season progresses. To talk about his picks tonight is my co-host, NBA.com Philippines All-Star analyst, Coach Willie Wilson. Coach, let's talk about NBA. And can I just say, I have a talented partner right here, an analyst, a host, and a writer for NBA.com Philippines. So let's get to it. We have the nice and naughty list so far for this season. And for the first one in the nice list, Coach Willie, we were talking off air. We sort of regret not having this guy on fantasy because he's having a season right now.
Yeah, so I just want to put this out there that everybody on my nice list, you need to have them on your roster, or you would love to have them on your roster. First and foremost, nice, who gets a great gift, is Bol.
Yeah.
He's giving all his owners a great gift. He has been a revelation this season. 44th pick by Miami, traded, and then all of a sudden just stashed. He was on the lineup, off the lineup, you hardly ever saw him. He was actually a real unicorn because he was rarely seen. Now he's always seen, and he's just showing out right there. You see the numbers. I can't say enough. He's actually getting compared to Wembanyama.
Yeah.
He's getting compared to Wembanyama. So they're saying, like, why wait for Wemby? He's already here in Bol. He's just showing that he's really positionless out there, blocking shots and being really, really, really efficient.
Well, that's a possible matchup that we're going to look forward to when Wembanyama comes in the league, right? To see against Bol. Second on your nice list, this one from originally they were supposed to tank, I heard, this team, Utah Jazz. But apparently because they have contenders, they have guys who can also play. And the second on your list is Lauri Markkanen.
Well, you saw that trade with Donovan Mitchell going over to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you're thinking, okay, well, Utah's blown it up. Sorry, pal. But yeah, Utah's blown it up. But then all of a sudden, Lauri Markkanen blows up. Not only him, but you had a whole bunch of other guys on that team just playing above expectations, and namely Jordan Clarkson is another one of those guys. But Lauri Markkanen, all his numbers are up.
Right.
We haven't seen his scoring numbers like this since his second year in the season with Chicago, and I actually liked him on that Cavaliers team because they were able to go three big, right, with Jarrett, and Jarrett Allen, and Evan Mobley, and then Lauri Markkanen as a three. But this time now he's the sole offensive focus of that team. And he's actually learning to become a playmaker. As you see by his career high assists, those assist numbers aren't that high. But for a 7-footer that you don't really see initiating plays for his teammates, that's something special.
Right, and they're right there. They're battling in the West Conference. So we look forward to how he balls out the rest of the season, talking about Lauri Markkanen. Third and final guy on your nice list is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who has had an exceptional season so far for OKC.
Well, this guy is the third leading scorer in the NBA, and he is super, super clutch. As you see these numbers on your screen right there, he's top 10 in steals. He's even getting a block per game, and you just see how he controls the game. He is keeping the game at his own pace, not going too fast, not going too slow, and he is making his teammates better out there. You see the assist numbers and the rebounding numbers. He's turning into a complete player right before our very eyes.
Right, so these are the guys in the nice list, the guys who received the presents on Christmas Day. But what about the naughty guys that didn't make it to the cut? Number one on your list, a lot of expectations for this guy, especially after his rookie year. Scottie Barnes now on your naughty list.
Well, Scottie Barnes beat out Evan Mobley for that Rookie of the Year last season, and everybody was expecting him to make a huge statistical jump this season. But you see right there, the points have gone down, the rebounds have gone down, but the assist numbers have gone up as he's tried to be more of a facilitator, more of a playmaker. Along with those assists, his turnovers have also gone up. But the area that I really want to focus on is the defensive side of the ball, and that's what made Scottie Barnes so special. We saw the highlights in the offseason of him locking up James Harden on defense. We were expecting to see that this season, and we have not. And you see the defensive team numbers of Toronto suffering, and a large part of that is because of this guy not doing it on that end.
I know there were some comparisons that he can be like a mini Giannis, but I don't know if that's still up there because of how he's performing this season so far. Okay, second on the naughty list, Klay Thompson, who has been all over the news lately with all his antics, but underwhelming after since the injury so far for Klay Thompson?
Oh, definitely. And you heard what Barkley said, and you heard how Klay Thompson responded to it. He was hurt. And rightfully, he should be hurt. But at the same time, understand where it's coming from. You know, the numbers are career lows right there. And it's not just the points, but it's the field goal percentage. It's the shot selection. He is not helping his team. I think he is hurting his team more than helping them. And I've always been a firm believer that if you are not 100% to play, then let other guys step up. It's always going to be that next man up mentality. They have guys on that bench that can produce. Ty Jerome, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga. Allow the other guys to pick you up and support you, and that's not what he's doing.
Is it safe to say that, you know, Jordan Poole has sort of taken his role for now in the Golden State bench?
I wouldn't say he's taken his role, because right now he's actually playing in the Steph Curry role. But his shine, definitely. Definitely.
Right. Okay. Last but not the least, or maybe the least, because we're in the naughty list right now. Duncan Robinson, is he a thief? Because after he got that deal right away, disappeared right away for the Miami Heat.
Oh man, yeah, definitely stealing money from the company. Miami Heat fans should be so disappointed in what he is producing here. He is a non-factor. You hardly ever see him on the court. He signed the biggest contract for an undrafted player in the history of the NBA, 5 years, $90 million. He needs to give the money back.
Right, interesting.
Because he's not producing, and he is unplayable there. He is just a pylon on defense. He's a traffic cone. And he just needs to give the money back, or they need to find a way to trade him.
Well, let's see if they can turn things around throughout the season, talking about the guys on the naughty. But for the nice, hopefully they can continue their performance. And more NBA talk right after this, Coach Willie, right?
Definitely. After the break, we'll look into the steep climb of the Brooklyn Nets up the Eastern Conference standings. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. You're watching The Game. The Brooklyn Nets are making their way to the top as they carry a 9-game winning streak after their win over the Cleveland Cavaliers. KD, and Uncle Drew teamed up as they combined for 64 big points, more than half of the team's 125-point output. Wow, that's a lot of points.
32 points each for KD and Kyrie Irving. And since that coaching change, we have to address that, Coach Willie.
Yeah.
Ever since
I
that
know.
coaching change, things turned around all of a sudden for Brooklyn Nets. What are your thoughts about how they turned it around in this season?
Well, I have to think that it's just a change of scenery. I know they're not changing scenery geographically, but they're changing what they've seen. They're not seeing the same coach, Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Sorry. But they're seeing Coach Jacques Vaughn.
Yeah.
He's actually a Kansas legend. He's played many years, I think 12 years in the NBA. So he has the knowledge and he has the coaching skill to deliver, as you see with these wins that Brooklyn's piling up.
Right. This Brooklyn Nets team, KD was taking accountability that he's the reason why they didn't have a Christmas Day game, right? But now they're making a case for next year, hopefully. But do you think that they can reach the top of the standings right before the All-Star break?
Well, I went on the record as saying that I first saw this for Brooklyn when they got Ben Simmons. He just gives them so much positional versatility.
Yeah.
You saw a lineup where he was at the 4, and they call that a regular, normal lineup at KD at the 3. That's 7 foot, 6'11", 7 foot with Claxton on there. And then they said that they had a small ball lineup with Ben Simmons at the 5.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons is 6'11", and KD at the 4. He's 7 feet tall. How can you call that a small ball lineup? So I just look at this team and I just see how they make things so difficult for other teams that they play against because they have so much versatility.
And finally, they're getting their groove, right? They have all the talent, but finally they're gelling as a team right now. Do you think it's sustainable, this success? How can KD and Kyrie keep going on with this performance?
Well, it has to start with health. Can they keep Ben Simmons healthy? Can they keep Kyrie Irving healthy because they are logging a lot of minutes?
Yeah.
Can they keep Kevin Durant? He's been relatively healthy. Can they keep him healthy? The points are there, and it's good because they have defenders now. Ben Simmons is a defender. He's not putting up a ton of points. He's defending out there. Claxton, he's leading the league in field goal percentage.
Yeah.
That's crazy, 77%. All he does is catch, dunk, catch, dunk. So they have so much versatility on the team. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, all they need to do is put the ball in the basket and then allow guys like Royce O'Neal to just lock down on defense and knock down open shots.
And whoever has these guys on their fantasy team, it's a luxury, right, to have KD
definitely.
and Kyrie as long as they're healthy, as you mentioned.
Definitely.
Okay, you mentioned it's possible that they get to the top of the standings before the All-Star break. Is it possible that they can make it all the way to the NBA Finals?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I have them as my favorite coming out of the East, going to the finals, even over the Bucks, obviously over the Cavs. Like I said, they have the championship experience. They have the clutch with Kyrie Irving. He's a fourth quarter man.
Yeah.
Everything you need on a team to be successful, they have it. The materials are all there.
We're going to look forward to how the season progresses and if the Nets can make it to the NBA Finals. Thank you for the NBA talk, as always, Coach Willie.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Willie Wilson.
I'm Dip Dipiaco, and this has been The Game.